everybody.
Get you going.
Welcome to the Golden Girls. If you like that song, this is the young man who wrote and performed it. His name is Julian Primo. And he's a friend of my son's, and now he calls me mom too. So
Love.
and so when I heard that song and I went, oh, I didn't know he did any Mardi Gras music. So I emailed him and said, please, 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 can I use your song? He's like, absolutely. You can use any song you want. I'm like, yay!
Yay! I win.
Wow.
He just got inducted into the Louisiana Music Hall of Fame
Wow.
within the last 6 months. And he's my son's age. So he's like between 40 and 44-ish in that area. So that's pretty young, for
Yep.
Hall of Fame, but
Yep.
he's very, very talented.
Yeah, that
Very
was a killer.
charismatic.
That got me going. I love that song.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. Me too.
It's called,
beginning, it's kind of do, and then
what's it called? It's called crap. I forget the name of the damn
yes,
song.
Candace. Yeah, me too. Just I wouldn't mind hearing a lot more of it. Yeah. And hello, Kimberly, Anna Greenwich, me. Nadja.
It's something bourbon blues or something like that. He wrote the song for Dr. John, but never got it to him to perform. So, hi, everybody. Hello, Mary. Hello, Kimberly, Anna, Rose, Candace,
Dawn.
Mimi, Naja, Denise, Dawn, Jenny. Wow, we got a room full in here.
Nice.
Aurelia, and I think actually Marina just said everybody's name, and I just went behind her. Didn't mean to do that, but
okay. Hola.
And hey, Sylvia, and you changed part of your name to connect from within. I like that.
Oh, excellent.
I like that.
Cool.
And hello, Dawn.
Yeah.
Look, Dawn, my nails are done.
Hold him up. Let's see again. Ooh, pretty.
Yeah.
I like those.
You know what? It took him over 2 hours last night to fix my nails. 2 hours.
So it's real gold?
No.
But it costs like it's real gold.
Yeah,
it does. It's got a lot of bling to it.
Yes. Yeah. So
hi, Morgan.
She worked very, very hard. Yeah.
Well, she did a great job.
There was stuff wrong with the old nails that were still on, or?
Yes, the girl who did them last time absolutely butchered, especially the sides of the nails, where she went in so low. It was a mess, to the point that within 2 days of me having those nails done, one of them cracked right low on the nail. So yeah, you see me with a Band-Aid and whatnot. I was trying to keep it together until I could get in to see Kim. So yeah, she had to work very hard to get rid of all the gunk that was on there and fix all the mistakes. So
wow.
Well, that's nothing can beat finding a good nail salon. I quit.
Yes.
I quit doing mine from a salon because I just couldn't
There you
afford it anymore. So I do press-on nails now.
Yeah.
Or when I have the money to buy the extra gel, I'll do my own polygel nails, which actually work better and last longer. But it's you got to have the right space set up, and I just haven't been set up for it lately. So I went back to press-on, and eventually I'll go back to the other ones. So
thank you, Rose Blue. I have often said that every woman needs to have, almost on speed dial in their phone, the name of a very good lawyer, a very good nail tech, and a very good hairstylist. You got that,
Yes.
you're okay. Well, yeah,
And
when
a
you find
masseuse.
one, you hang on to
Afford it.
them. Yeah.
That's it. Oh yeah.
Yes, Ginny, absolutely.
I know there are nail salons down here, like there's 2 or 3 on every corner. You can't go
Exactly.
anywhere, they're everywhere. But
Yes.
there's this one place in particular I like to go get a pedicure. And because they do a lot of extra stuff that they don't charge you extra for.
Yeah.
That, they do like the hot stone
Yes.
treatments on
Yes.
your legs and all that. Whereas other salons, if they pull out the stones, you're paying an extra $5 to $10 for them to do it. It's like, yeah, no, we
Yes.
don't need to do that.
Yeah.
But it's nice when you find a place where they treat you really well and they kind of go a little above and beyond. And
So Denise said, Cleo, let's see your nails. I do my own manicure, pedicure. Where's my camera? There we go.
There you go.
Just normal.
Yeah.
But see, if I could get my nails, just natural nails, to look that good, I wouldn't bother with all of this. But my own nails don't grow. By the time they get just past the end of the finger, they start splitting and tearing and stuff. And
Yeah.
so it's like, okay, it's just not worth the hassle.
Yeah. And Dawn says, don't forget a cordless drill and a black bra. Yes, ma'am.
A pack of batteries to get you through.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's what God made them for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so what is
All
on
right.
the agenda today? What are we going to talk about?
Well, it seems like we got Martin Luther King Day coming up on Monday.
We do. And
And
isn't it amazing that it's the inauguration is the very same day?
I'm sure MLK is rolling over in his grave as we speak.
My thoughts, exactly. Exactly.
Yes. Yeah. And Sylvia says it's supposed to be the coldest day in 40 years on Inauguration Day.
Yeah, does anybody think that will affect?
Good.
Maybe people won't show up because it's too cold?
There's been a lot of rumors going around that he's going to do it at Mar-a-Lago instead.
Well, and what about the 19th? The big rally on the 19th. Now that was supposed to be in Washington D.C.
That's still going on, yeah, and I don't know. If that was originally planned to be a repeat of January 6th, 21, or yeah, Rose, I saw that. A lot of they've got all kinds of military now in DC. Biden called them in, I guess, to keep the peace. I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens.
Barricades up all around the whole area and stuff, but
yes,
this thing on the 19th. I mean, a lot of people have been reading on this, and I see a lot of what they see. I think there's going to be a lot of infighting. A lot of something's not going to go right at all.
There's already infighting. I mean,
yeah.
But I mean, this sounds to me a little like serious stuff. And actually, what I saw at the GOP convention was, I thought at that time that there was going to be a bunch of fighting, and then it didn't really happen that way. So now I'm thinking, was I looking too far ahead, and this is the time? And I do get something's going on with the 19th rally. And I know that a lot of people thought that possibly this is when he was going to do his fake inauguration. He might, but it doesn't really matter as long as he makes it to Monday's real inauguration. Okay, I'll tell you right now, I see a lot of weird things coming up, and I see a lot of things that I would just hope and pray is true. but I would like you guys to read on it for me, because I think,
Okay.
I feel like I'm stuck in a loop on this whole thing. I've been asking every single day for months, what is going to happen? And I do see, that the inauguration could possibly not happen. And when I'm told that is true, I don't believe it. So, first of all, my first question for my great readers here is, do you see the inauguration of Donald Trump happening on Monday, January 20th? Will he be inaugurated?
Okay, I'm using the Kipper, and what I got was this is official person and false person. So the official person is not the real person. This could be him not being inaugurated, him all of a sudden stepping back. He may not be in any physical condition to be able to fulfill what needs to. I also got expectation and community. So I think that people are not expecting that there is going to be an inauguration. So
I got Kipper cards. I need to take them out and start learning how to use them. First thing I drew was judgment. So there's going to be a lot of judgment going around against him, against the Dems, against the Republicans. It's going to be flying in all directions. And whatever he does or doesn't do, his followers are going to find some way to gin it up and make it into something that it's not. They seem to be experts at that at this rate. And then I drew the Two of Wands. And so it's like he's got, is he going to do it there, or is he going to fly back to Mar-a-Lago? It's like he's kind of wavering on that, because to be honest, if it's going to be that cold, I don't think he's going to want to have to go stand out in that cold at all.
Yeah, walk
and
down the mall.
You know damn well Melania is not going to do it. She can be like, "Oh no, fuck this! I'm going back where it's warm."
But the whole thing is, if he does that, that doesn't work. He can't do it from Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah, and then I pull the Queen of Wands, and so I'm like, the Queen of Wands. Could that perhaps be Kamala? I mean, normally I get the Queen of Swords with her, or the Queen of Cups with her. This is the first time I ever drew a Queen of Wands and then just felt like it was her. It says courage, confidence, independence, focused, zest for life, determination, joy. Well, if that's not Kamala Harris, I don't know what is it.
Right.
That describes her to a T. So, I mean, I'm looking at this. I think that no matter what he does, he's going to be feeling a lot of judgment coming at him, rightfully so. And I'd never even noticed this here. One of the things it's got on the Two of Wands says leaving home, travel plans. Maybe he is going to try to go somewhere else to do it. And again, with the Queen, I just...
Well, I will say that under the Constitution,
my heart says no, it's not going to happen. My brain says, get real, Sherry. So,
that's where I'm at as well. I mean, I get these messages that just don't seem to fit, but getting the same thing forever. But anyway, the Constitution says that if the person that's supposed to be president cannot be inaugurated, it automatically goes to the vice president, because Joe Biden has to end his presidency at noon on January 20th. So we know that's going to happen. And then, if something was to happen that Trump couldn't be there, or for whatever reason, then it would that's what would happen. And then she'd be president for that moment, until they could figure out what the problem is. So since I can't ever get a direct answer, I thought, well, I'm going to go through the back door here. Carrie Underwood is supposed to perform at the inauguration. Do you guys see Carrie Underwood performing during the inauguration on January 20th?
I lost a lot of respect for that little girl when she made that decision.
Yeah.
Because I love her music. I love her voice. But it's like, girl, really?
Yeah. I think she may be performing wherever that performance may take place. Whether that's in Washington, whether that's in Mar-a-Lago, whether it's on the big screen, because I've been hemmed in by the weather and I can't get there, and I wish I could be there with each and every one of you. Honestly, I don't think too many people are going to be there physically. I also don't think that too many people are going to be tuning in from TV. I think a lot of people are going to turn a lot of that off and go, nope, not going to.
There are several groups that are calling for a national boycott of all electronics. Turn everything off, don't watch or listen to anything. And while that sounds nice, I can't quite agree with that, because I have a live stream with Danny Shea on Monday. So it's like, no, y'all got to stick around long enough for get through my show, and then you can turn it all off. But
from what Marina is getting, do you get something about whether Carrie Underwood will be performing that day, Sherry?
I haven't really read on that, so let me. I've been sitting there shuffling.
Yeah,
because I'm thinking that what
see what I get
would mean, what the reason I asked that question, if she's there performing, there must be an inauguration happening. I mean, she wouldn't be there if the inauguration wasn't happening.
She could be there as, kind of a distraction as well. Right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because I pulled from the Kipper and I got poverty.
Oh,
so that's poor performance, losing things. So
at the Knight of Wands, impulsiveness. For whatever reason, she thought that if I do this, maybe I can help bridge the gap from right and left. And I think she regrets it now, because I've heard that she's gotten a lot of backlash from it.
Yeah, she has.
A lot of people are like, yeah, no, that's it. You're done for me. So, shades of the Dixie Chicks, which are now just the Chicks, because they spoke out against W.
That's right.
But now they're the stronger for it. I mean, but they had to completely revamp themselves.
So do you see her actually being there and doing the performance?
That's what I'm not. The Knight of Wands is telling me there's movement there. There's a passion there. And she tends to be a very passionate performer. So maybe that means she is going to be there. But then I got the the Six of Swords, and that shows people packing up and leaving.
Yeah.
Whether if it's good or bad. I feel like maybe she doesn't make that trip. Maybe she makes it an electronic, a phone it in, so to speak. Ending with the 6 of Wands. So that's public recognition. That's, people talking about you. I feel like it should be more this way than it's this way, simply because I don't think she's going to get the feedback. Well, I know for a fact she's not getting the feedback already of what I think her intentions were from what I've heard her say. Her intentions was, well, if I go, then maybe I can bridge that gap and get people to kind of mellow out. And it's like, yeah, no, you picked the wrong hill to die on,
So Cleo, if she is performing in Mar-a-Lago, she will probably go through with the performance. If it's in DC, I think that she'll find a way to back out, or she will not perform live.
Yeah.
Because of the weather, or do you have any idea about
That'll
that?
be a very handy excuse.
Yeah, it will be a good excuse, but part of it, I think, is with the Ace of Swords is, her people are going to talk to her and say, listen, you keep the politics out of it. This is not a good look. We're getting a lot of calls. We're getting a lot of people who are saying, oh yeah, I'm not buying her albums anymore. So,
well, and it makes me wonder, are they going to start?
Maybe you come up with a cold or something on that day.
Unexpected. Well, see, what I'm trying to figure out is my guides tell me one thing, but also there's the other side of things, that things are going to happen, that he will get, he'll go through the inauguration and all that. And so I'm trying to kind of go around the guides and kind of come through the back door. And that was the reason for the Carrie Underwood question. Because the other thing is some things come up when I talk to my guides about this, and they don't answer me. And they basically tell me they're not going to answer me because something is going on that is so big and so secretive and so confidential. They do not want the psychics on YouTube to say exactly.
Let the cat out of the bag. Yeah.
Yes.
And so, and I'm thinking that some of this big stuff that is happening between now and Sunday and Monday. And that the thing on Sunday, I get the impression that all hell breaks loose on Sunday with the whatever it is, this rally thing, or he was going to be in Washington, D.C. I felt that it was going to be at Mar-a-Lago all along. What do you got, Sherry?
I got Crossroads. So it looks like a rocket from Guardians of the Galaxy, but my brain is always in the damn movies. I don't know. It's a new. I don't know what the meaning behind it is, but I feel like there's going to be a lot of mixed messages. Was.
Yeah.
I mean,
and don't forget the people that are going to show up on the 19th, and if he's in Mar-a-Lago, then that's a pretty good indication of what's going to happen the next day, because the reason he wants those people there the day before is so that he can lift himself up and look how adored I am, and all these people came to see me. If he's going to, on the 19th, if he's going to be in DC, a lot of those people are not going to travel up there. No matter how much he tries to stoke them, this time they're prepared, right? They've got the National Guard there. They've got the military there. And people around are going to see that that's exactly what's going on. So they're not going to be able to act the same way they did on January 6th, right? There will be a stop that is going to be put to it fairly quickly. So depending on where Trump is on the 19th, that will give us a good indication of what's coming the next day. but I still, no matter what I do, I still cannot look at the cards and have them tell me, yes, he is inaugurated.
Yeah.
I still get
me neither.
My brain, my logical brain is like, no, there's no big miracle coming Sunday evening to change everything.
Yes.
Y'all are gonna really laugh at me if it does happen that way. But that's my logical brain. My heart and my spiritual brain keeps telling me, yeah, like Marina was saying, something's coming, something big.
Something big.
Something that's going to blow our socks off.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. But
Rose,
what about with
NATO had 3 meetings in 36 hours.
Wow. We know that.
Wow is right.
Okay. Because that's the other thing, is that all this election interference throughout the world, and also all the stuff that Jack Smith put out there, a lot of people are looking at that going, whoa, wait a minute. And he's telling us that if he could have taken this to court, that Trump would have been in trouble. So, well, and we all thought that, yes, but is Congress, are the Democrats and maybe even the Republicans looking at this thinking there's something wrong here? I mean, there is so many things wrong. To have a president, to have a person be in the Oval Office with 34 felony convictions, with cases against him about sexual abuse, basically. I mean, everybody is so afraid to say rape, and sorry, that's what it was. And all the lies, and just like the majority things that he said to get in office in the first place in 2024, he lied, and we told you guys he was lying, and then he turns around, he gets voted in, and he comes back and goes, oh, may not be able to bring those grocery prices down. You know, once they go up, hard to come down. Oh, you know, the deportation of everybody. I don't know. You know, because they're seeing how much money it's going to cost and how ridiculous it is, and a bunch of, you know, and that idiot Musk and some others, you know, they're saying, oh no, we want to be. They basically want to cherry pick the immigrants. Like, well, we'll let you in because you've got a college education and you might be able to help us on IT stuff, and so we'll keep you around. But you're just a nobody, so you go back, and or you go.
The number changed from millions of illegal immigrants are going to be tossed out to, well, perhaps 500,000.
And then with all the
not what he told you
about trying to acquire Canada as another state, about trying to take over Green by force, to take it back the Panama Canal. Everybody is looking at this like, oh boy, this is what we have to look forward to. And then the tariffs. And I had just mentioned backstage that, you know, this 25% tariff on Canada, that's not good. 25% on Mexico, that's not good. But did you know that he wants to impose a 60% tariff on China? Pick up just anything in your house and find out, where was that made? Where did that come from?
In China?
Yeah. 60% is just massive.
It is. And unfortunately, I think that for those diehards who absolutely believe that, you know, the sun shines out of his, you know what, and everything he said is anointed by God, they are going to have to go through that pain in order to see what it is that they believed in. It's kind of like, you know, has anybody ever met someone who had an alcoholic or who had a drug abuser or whatever, someone with an addiction in their family? And you try to talk to them, you try to reason with them, you try to do all kinds of things with them. It isn't until they admit that they have a problem before they're actually going to do anything. And those people right now are at that point where they've been told, listen, your drinking is starting to affect your job performance. Your, drug abuse is starting to affect your ability to be able to operate this machinery. But no, they're not going to get it until until they lose the job, until they've got nothing coming in. And then they're going to have to come to that self-realization. Oh my God, I am an alcoholic. I am that. I'm ready for help now. So, yeah, it's unfortunate that so many people are, have to suffer along with them. But I think it's the ones who believe the firmest that are going to suffer the worst. And, in a way, maybe they should. Maybe they should. It's not like they didn't know. We tried to tell them. How many years have we been, saying that?
But why should we all have to suffer? I mean, over half the country wants.
Now that's what I'm saying. It's like,
but on
somebody
the
did a meme that was posted in the last couple of days. It said he was convicted for 34 felonies, yet we're the ones going to jail.
Yeah, I mean, it's just asinine. But on the other hand, I just want to say for everybody watching that if things go as if he gets in the White House and he's president again, don't jump off a bridge or something, because I'm telling you, it's not going to last. But it's this waiting thing, and it just feels like we've been waiting and waiting for almost 4 years now for this not to happen. And we will get through this, and we'll keep having shows that will tell you that you're going to get through this. But
absolutely,
in the meantime, Monday might be just the biggest shocker we've ever seen, or it might be just like, oh shit, he's in, we're out, and we're all pissed, and here comes these tariffs, and then it's just going to really hurt. What he's doing is going to hurt Americans so much, because the average person doesn't make enough money as it is right now. And then to add this kind of thing to it, it's just going to be very, very hard to deal with. So we will be there for you to try to lift you up. But in the meantime, we're still trying to figure out what's going to happen. And I think that some of the things, like I had seen, that, if he gets in, then there's just no hope for Kamala, and this is just a pipe dream. Then again, I can see depending on what they find and how quickly they find it. Like I said, there's this corruption all over the world about election interference. And if you see that most of the things that Donald Trump is in trouble for all center around election interference going back to 2016. So if they come up with some other things about how this vote went down or whatever, I still see that Kamala could be elevated to the position that she's supposed to be in. So
and don't forget, anytime that when we are reading cards and we are picking up on the energy, we are telling you what it is that we see in our interpretation of it. The people that are involved in those readings, the people that we are reading on, like Biden, like Trump, like Harris, like, Mikey No Johnson, like all those people, they have free will. Each and every one of them could make a decision that will absolutely affect the others and upset everything. So, if he is in on Monday, all right, fine, he's in. Now, what do? We hold the light. We still have to speak for those people who have been saying the same thing over and over and over again, because for those that can't yet see the light, they are going to come around, and they're going to have questions, and they're going to need people to explain to them and to kind of do the what do you call it? Oh shit.
They're
Intervention.
gonna, and they're gonna need us. They're gonna need that hug of being told we've all been duped at one
Yeah.
time or another. We've all been there. Okay, we're all paying the price because you got duped, and there was enough of you there to do it. But even with that, there's been so much not direct proof, but
Mm-hmm.
kind of implied proof of the cheating, the level of cheating that went on. You know, that
I think the guy from NATO, I mean, somebody had said that they'd met with NATO 3 times. God, that gives me great hope.
Mm-hmm.
Because the guy from NATO is the one that's going to put the kibosh on this whole thing and bring it all together. So it's up to us to take his information and do something with it. And hopefully they'll do something with it.
Yes.
ASAP. And by the way, Amanda, you said that David Johnson said that nobody's getting the answers from their guides. I just went through that and we talked about it. That is absolutely true. That the guides are, because it is so, first of all, it's beyond we can't really imagine how weird things are behind the scenes right now. What is, who's telling who what and what they're planning to do. I have tried to put together in my mind because I'm always trying, I always think linear, and that is not the way to be if you're going to be psychic. Linear doesn't work. But I try to look for, well, what could happen? Well, there so many different things could happen. And Donald Trump, the world knows what Donald Trump has done.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
But
yeah.
I believe, I believe that there are people in the White House and in the Department of Justice, the FBI, those kind of people know what Donald Trump has done to affect this election. And they know that it involves a lot of money. And they know that he's going to get busted on it. I mean, but we can't say that. We don't know that, I don't know how this is all going to come about. But, that's the kind of thing that'll come up. And it's going to be something that we've never seen before. It's going to be something that is just like, why didn't I get that? God, that's just so amazing. Like crazy what has actually happened. And, I know
don't forget, he is doing his very best to surround himself with people who are going to do his bidding. Right?
Yes.
Like the
no
Attorney
questions
General.
asked.
Yeah, the Attorney General with the, are you kidding me? The Pete Hegseth. I mean, it's like, the one of the ways to ensure that you get into the Trump administration is to approach him and let him know all the wrongs that you have done, all the laws that you have broken. And that's what's going to get you in. It's not a case of, well, Pam Bondi for the Attorney General. Hello. So yes, there are things happening behind the scenes, and we again.
Speaking of Pam Bondi, let me jump in real quick. Did y'all see? I saw a clip earlier today where they were asking her about what was it now? Something about the way something about the way the phrasing was for Trump's conviction against E. Jean Carroll and the molestation and this and that and the other. And so they directly asked her about it and, would she be doing X, Y, or Z? And her response was, well, I really don't know about that comment because I don't have it in context. And they said, well, it's played on air ad nauseum for 3 years, you know. And, well, no, I don't remember ever seeing that. So I would have to look into it. And I'm thinking to myself,
Yeah, I'm
what, have
not
you been in
familiar
like
with
under a
that.
rock somewhere? You know,
Yeah,
how
I'm
could you have
not
not
familiar with
seen it?
that.
Um,
No, I'd have to look at everything on a case by case basis. And they asked her specifically, who won the 2020 election? Well,
oh, well, Biden is
Joe
president.
Biden is the president of the United States. That wasn't the question. The question was who won. And she was getting very, very defensive when they were starting to ask her about, Trump going after people and what. Well, no. I don't have any knowledge of that. I don't know anything about that. And then she started attacking one of the guys, saying, well, Senator, you were censured for that. Didn't you do this wrong? And didn't you do that wrong? And whatnot. And so he persisted in asking the questions about, okay, can you guarantee that if you are confirmed that none of the January 6th information or evidence that has been collected will be destroyed? Oh, you mean like the things that they destroyed against President Trump? And I thought, oh my God, girl, you just, open mouth, insert foot. Like, yeah.
Yes.
So that's
Yes.
what they are. They're all yes people, and they need to
Well, and
identify as that.
his rally on the 19th, which is the day before the inauguration, but you got the Women's March on the 18th. And so it's like that was set up long before his sudden rally that he's going to do the day
Mm-hmm.
after. So it makes me wonder, has he been having his people tell those that participate, make sure you come a day earlier so you can disrupt the march, the women's march, because he would love to get some of his folks mixed in that crowd and then start vandalizing stuff. That's what happened with the Black Lives Matter protest.
Mm-hmm.
They would send in some of their Proud
Yeah.
Boys and whatnot, who would then proceed to bust out shop windows or set something on fire.
Yes.
And it got to where the regular marchers who were for Black Lives Matter, the minute they saw somebody step out of line, there would be like a group of them that would go and literally single that person out, haul them away from whatever it was, and bring them to the nearest cop they could find, saying, we caught him vandalizing, and he's
Yes.
not part of our group. And so I think there's going to be a lot of that we're going to have to do as
Yeah.
far as being willing to kind of step up and say, that's not what's
Yes.
going on.
Yes. It's going to be a case of you're looking for a savior. You're out there saying,
Yeah.
please, please, somebody save us. Guess what? Save yourself. Don't
Yeah.
look to outside sources to save you, because that's what we have been trying to do for how many years? To give you the information. If you haven't appreciated it up until now, you're not going to appreciate it over the next week. Save yourself. Think about what
And
it is
it's
you're going to do
it's
to get out of this.
yeah, it's so wild. Spirit has had me, y'all know I usually do my daily affirmation
Yeah.
at lunchtime when I'm on my lunch break.
Yeah.
And the last several days, Spirit has been after me after I did that to then turn around and do a political energy moment reading that I've been posting right after it, two separate. And I've gotten some good feedback on it. We'll see what's going to happen, but it's just like a little snapshot of in that moment, what is the energy around. And then after I do it, I'll go back to my phone and look and see what's happening in the news. And Clarence asked if anyone had read on the Village People. Are you
Yes.
talking about the musical group?
Yes.
And what about them?
They are going to be performing at the inauguration apparently as well.
That's what I heard.
Yeah. And David, Gary, and I did read on it on Tuesday. We
Oh,
read,
okay.
on,
I hadn't heard that. So
how is this going to affect them, and does the Trump faction realize that YMCA is it's a song about gay men?
it's a gay anthem.
It's a gay anthem and so on. And the leader of the village people, Victor, I can't remember his last name, said that this is trying to be inclusive, trying to come together, so on and so forth. So we read on them. We also read on Carrie Underwood. This is it is not going to put.
When was the last time you actually heard or talked about the village people?
That's just
before Trump started playing that stupid song.
That's
back in high school when that song was out.
Yeah, their time has come and gone. It is, they can do whatever. This is not going to.
I think they're just riding the wave. They're riding the wave. They got a little bit of the notoriety and people wanting to hear their music again, and they're like, "Oh, now's the time. Let's strike while the iron's hot."
If anybody thinks for even a millisecond that the Trump administration and Trump himself is going to do anything for the gay community, think again. It's not going to happen. I think that they just threw that in because they could live with that song and because he's been using it, but doesn't really understand where it comes from. And no, a lot of gay people right now are very nervous about what's going on right now. And
Vern, you just won internet for the day.
Yeah.
With that statement.
Yeah.
Maybe they could teach him how to do the dance instead of that double cock rock he does.
Yes.
Yeah, that's just more to look over here. Don't look over here and see what's really going on. Look at what the village people. Yay, YMCA. He doesn't know.
Naja asked 2 questions, actually. Let's do the first one. Has anyone seen Joe Biden packing?
Yes.
I've had several people mention they haven't seen any activity of them actively moving out. And normally you're already seeing it at this point.
That's true. But I think Joe is definitely packing up.
Yes.
Because at noon on the 20th, he's done. There's nothing that's going to turn that back. But have we seen
No. Absolutely. But then she asked, and what will happen if NATO declares war? Will Biden have to stay?
This is what we're really, really looking into, and this is what the guides don't want to talk to me about. There's NATO. I think NATO is going to be the savior here, but I don't know how fast they can do all this stuff. But I think when somebody said that they had met NATO 3 times in the last week or something.
Yeah, I keep feeling like, and this is weird because I actually had a dream about this the other night as well, that NATO is like, let them get in. Let them get in. That's going to just allow us to tie off the knots on everything we've got on them.
Yeah.
And it's going to be worse on him and his people than if they didn't get in. So that's, you understand what I'm saying? That was the dream I had. And I was like, that doesn't make any freaking sense. But then I started thinking about it. And I thought, well, but actually, if we just let him in and thinking, I got it, I managed to pull the wool over their eyes, everybody loves me, everybody adores me, and he starts doing his crap, they're going to just all come down on him at once.
Well, he's already
and I know that there are multiple countries that have now in the process of filing charges against Muskrat for election interference in their countries and cybersecurity interference in their countries. And you've got the stock market, who is now about to file charges, if they haven't already, on Muskrat for lying about his
Ownership of
actual
Twitter.
ownership of stock on Twitter. And the fact that he bought all these stock and nobody knew it, and then said things that would drive up the price. And everybody started trying to buy it before it got too high, and he made a truckload of money off of it.
Yeah, he's gonna
turn around and he bought it. Yeah.
And don't forget, folks, look at it this way. From the standpoint of the world, from the standpoint of NATO in particular, if Trump is in the White House, you know where he is. You've got many different eyes that are focused in on him and watching him. If he is just kind of allowed to go wherever and, all of a sudden he's not in office, it's a little harder to get that close to him. Now, Biden has already turned over some of the American quote unquote bases that I heard about, Europe, like in Poland. He has turned them over to NATO. So America doesn't have any bases in Poland, but NATO does. So I know that there are people out there who are much, much smarter on their dumbest day than I am at this moment. But I'm thinking that they know what they're doing. This is a chess game. These are certain ways that you have to move in order to move your opponent into a position where they can't get out. And that takes time, it takes planning, it takes skill. So, and I'm wondering, maybe that's why I'm not seeing a lot of the things going on. I'm not panicked.
Me neither. I'm not panicked for some reason.
Yes, very
transformation.
Calm. Yes.
Or transmutation, excuse me.
Transmutation, yes.
And it says this is defined as changing or altering an element in form, appearance, or nature, and especially changing it to a higher form.
Yeah. And
interesting.
And if let's say he is in the White House and they do have the eyes on him, if they need to pick him up, they can do that in the middle of the night.
But why not do it right now? I think NATO has told the White House, told Biden, and whoever that needs to know all the information. I think they have it. Now, if I'm wrong, that might be part of the problem. If I'm wrong about that and they don't have all their ducks in a row quite yet, that would delay the kind of action we're talking about. On the other hand, I think NATO has provided, NATO has come to us and said, told President Biden, this is what's going on, get ready. And somebody was talking about, even with Obama talking to Trump during the Carter funeral, and it looked like everything was all copacetic, but was it really? And then they're trying to lip read and find out what was being said. I think what Obama was doing is he did not want to disrespect what they were there for. And so he probably just went right along with Trump. On the other hand, I think that they encourage Trump to do stuff just so he can dig himself in deeper and deeper and deeper.
Exactly. So, and that's one of the reasons that, if you let him be inaugurated and you put him in a position so that he does start to do things, he does start to retaliate, he does start to take action and so on, it just makes your case that much stronger. Because it's one thing to say, yes, the election was stolen and this was done, and he said he was going to do this and he said he was going to do that. Well, I said at one point that I wanted to be queen of the universe, but yet here I am. I've got a YouTube channel, so that didn't happen. So Let him
And if
start
you'd have
doing.
told me 5 years ago that I'd have been doing this on YouTube,
Yes,
I
exactly.
would have laughed in your face and said, "You are so full of BS, it's not even funny." I love what Michelle put in because that's the other side of it as
Yeah.
well. We're not just up against numbnuts Orange Man.
Oh yeah, no, it's not just one guy. And
No.
there's
It's
so much
we're up against
so
some
much
very
money.
smart and
Yes.
very dangerous people.
Absolutely.
And
Because he's not the brains behind the operation. That
oh
I can guarantee
no,
you.
he's their stooge.
Yeah.
He's the one that they can sacrifice.
Yes.
And if they thought that they were going to be able to get their way that much faster
Mhm.
by letting the snipers actually hit them,
You
they
know,
would do it tomorrow.
and Froxy Roxy says, as it is, everyone has taken too much time. NATO does not want to take any more time. The time is now. They must act. I agree with her 1000%. This is what I've been thinking all along. Now is the time. Let's do this. On the other hand, there's that, why won't the guides tell me that that's absolutely what's going to happen? There's no absolutes, and it does change from time to time. What has not changed, this thing about Kamala Harris ending up being president, and that just has never changed, and they still tell me that. So, I can only hope and pray. I've been praying for divine intervention
Yes.
for a year now, and hopefully those prayers are going to pay off. But it's just that we're getting so down to the wire. I'm hoping that there is some kind of thing that stops at least the
Yes.
inauguration. And maybe he can go on and pretend like he's president, but if he for some reason was not there on Monday, I can't imagine that he wouldn't be. He will be. Because it's automatic. And I'm sure that everybody in, all these politicians knows what the
If
Constitution
he
says.
didn't show up, or if he had any kind of a medical type situation where
You can
he
only
was
hope and pray.
unable to take the oath, then it's going to go to JD Vance. And he'll be the one sworn in. Because that's the whole point of having a vice president. He's
Right,
like
but that can't
the
happen.
heir to the heir, he's
That cannot happen unless for a fact that Trump is inaugurated. Because right now Vance is nobody. He's somebody that will be once certain things are done, but right now he's a nobody. But yes, I worry about that too. But I see
That could change.
Yes.
That could change. Why couldn't Trump just say, JD, you're fired? No, I'm replacing you with so and so. Who's going to stand up to him and say, no, you can't do that? Right? This late in the game, there's so many people around him have absolutely tied themselves to him. When he goes over the cliff, they're going to go with him. There is nothing they can do to untie themselves from him. So I can't tell you with any degree of certainty what is going to happen. I just know that we are going to survive this. And in time, it is absolutely going to make sense. And we're all going to go, oh, shit. Okay, well, maybe I shouldn't have reacted that quickly because I didn't know this was happening and so on behind the scenes. I do not feel panicked. I do not feel the least little bit concerned about, things going really, really bad.
See, that's been me. Like in the very beginning, yeah, I was really shook up, but then it was like just this sense of calmness just kind of took over, and it was like, what are you doing? We've got this. Just chill out. And like I said, my logical brain looks at it and it's like, yeah, no. And yeah, Angela, Biden already told him that he knows They've had this discussion. That's why he had Trump come to the White House a week after the election, was so he could flat out tell him, okay, look, this is the way it is. This is what we know. And you're going to have to do certain things if you want it to not be known.
Mm-hmm.
And one of those things was a promise to leave Hunter alone. And when 45 went out and immediately began talking about, oh, they were going to be going back after him and throwing a book at him and blah, blah, that's when Biden pardoned his son. He never would have done it if Trump hadn't have turned around and publicly stated that Hunter was going to be in the crosshairs again. And Joe was like, no, that's not going to happen.
The problem with that election thing is they can't get the proof. So just, Trump probably knows they know, but they couldn't do anything in 2016. It didn't come up in 2020, even though Biden got it. But they don't think that they think that it's so well hidden and so well protected, and it's being the same principles that were used in the United States are being used in other countries to affect their elections. So they're just like, well, fine, go ahead. Maybe it was rigged. What are you going to do about it? Nah. I mean, they're very confident about what they're doing.
Yep.
And who's to say that Biden hasn't spent the last, how many months has it been since the election? 2 months? 3 months? Having the Oval Office and the residence for them to live in and all that thoroughly bugged, so that there is nothing that they can do or say anywhere in that White House that the other side won't be aware of.
Mm-hmm.
That was another thing that I was shown, and it was literally like a vision of just ears and eyes like floating everywhere in the White House.
Then that would be something that Trump would, and because he's paranoid, he would definitely have swept the entire White House of anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
If we got the boys upstairs helping us, do you think that they would really find it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yep.
So drop the cards.
Folks, it's gonna be okay. Things happen when they are supposed to happen. And as much as we would like them to happen yesterday, people are working on the evidence. Maybe they don't have the evidence today, or they didn't have the evidence an hour ago, but they're working on it. What if that evidence shows up within the next 2 hours? What if it shows up within the next 2 days? Do you want them to go in there charging where they're going to sound like Trump 2.0? The election was stolen. Yeah, it was stolen. Where's your evidence? Well, we're working on it. We're going to get it. So, yeah, you just, come back here. Yeah,
ding, 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 ding. That's why it's been very circumspect.
Yeah. Well, and it's still not too late for the Congress to bring up something about the insurrection, and that this goes against the 14th Amendment, blah, blah, blah. Yes. I don't see any of that happening. I'm a little discouraged and disgusted with the Democrats.
Without a doubt. Yeah. I mean, without a doubt, myself.
They're just not doing what I would expect them to do. Why in the hell it got to this point and they couldn't stop it? That tells me that there is so much more money and so much more corruption than we can even imagine for this kind of thing to happen. And that to put in a dictator, it's just.
And then we have incidences like what happened, was it today, yesterday, where all of the leadership in all of the different Canadian provinces all got together with the PM and said, look, we may have different thoughts, we may run our districts differently, but we're all united in one thing. This is Canada. Fuck off. Don't mess with us.
Yeah, they all did that, except Alberta's premier, Danielle Smith,
Yeah.
kind of went, well, I'll get back to you. Yeah.
So no matter what happens, wait a minute, whatever happens, don't worry. We're going to be here for you guys. We're hoping for the best. We see certain things that have been in the works for a long time, that things could get shaken up about the inauguration, that things could happen on Sunday, the 19th, that really turns things around, that there's a lot of fighting. There's a lot of, but just, I mean, it's serious. It's serious. And this information will eventually come out and we will hear about it. But will he be inaugurated?
Yeah.
He might be.
And who's to say that not 6 months from now, suddenly The Hague and NATO and whoever else is part of all of that literally shows up one day and starts slapping handcuffs on all of the congressional leaders and the Senate leaders and the White House leadership to say, you're under arrest. You have been, you have been charged with espionage, with treason, with cybersecurity, with it. It's like, yes, please. Let that happen. I'll wait 6 months. I don't have a problem with that. It'll be a rough 6 months, but
Trump will eventually be convicted of treason, but who knows when? I don't know. But it's going to be okay. I'm glad that Marina keeps bringing this up too. It's going to be okay. We're going to get through this. We might have to suffer. I mean, we went through COVID and tell me we weren't suffering through that. I mean, that was just horrible. And to have that idiot be the president at that time, that kind of stuff just scares me. But for some reason this time, I'm like, whatever happens, I know I can get through this.
Yes.
And so can everybody else.
And that's the message I keep getting with my little daily political draws I've been trying to do is, in the end, I just keep getting that message. It's going to be okay. I don't know how, and I don't know why, and I don't know
when
what we're going to have to go through before we get to that point. But I keep getting shown that in the end, we're going to be okay.
So, hey, thanks everybody that showed up today and all your input.
Yeah, we ran a little over. We had up to, at our high point, I think it was 282 in the room.
Oh, lovely.
Yay.
Yeah, we still got 267 now. So, wow. Thank y'all.
Yeah,
thank y'all very much for coming and hanging with us.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Make sure you do that. Leave a comment at
Marina and Cleo's channel information is in the description box below. Make sure, please, you go and subscribe to them. Before the show, I think I was like 8 subscribers away from hitting 4,000.
Wow.
So I was like, wow. I was all excited about that. So, but then I don't talk about it because I get nervous. I'm going to jinx myself. It's one of those superstitions I didn't think to share last night.
Yeah. And don't forget, come back and see us on January 30th when Cleo is going to be our hostess.
Our hostess, yeah.
And we'll talk about the week and a half that was.
Yes.
And tomorrow night is polyterology.
Oh, yes.
So there'll be lots more political snark going around, and Colleen's friend that she wrote about on her community tab is going to be there. So that'll be fun.
Nice.
Well, that was just crazy. That was just crazy. Colleen Nicole Crone, my sister, she meets somebody on YouTube, and they're both astrologers. Her name's Kathy. And they got together at a coffee shop just to meet each other because it ends up this person lives close to where she lives in New Jersey. And they walk into the place and they're both wearing the same clothes. They're wearing the
identical leopard print coats. I was like, oh my God, that's too
black
funny.
pants and the same hairdo. And I
Yep.
was like, what? Anyway, she's going to be on polyterology tomorrow.
Perfect.
That'll
Yeah.
be fun. That's
Cool.
going to be fun. And then Saturday, I'm doing a pre-recorded show with Nate from the Third Wish, where we're going to talk all about the inauguration. And
Yes.
maybe we'll get some more goodies. Maybe he'll get some goodies that I'm not picking up. So, yeah.
Cool.
So thank y'all for coming and being with us tonight. Have a great night. Take a deep breath. We're going to be okay. We're going to be okay.